With a worksheet chart, you can easily resize the chart, move it around as you choose. You can use the Control key, the Shift key, and Alt key for various kinds of creativity in this process. Suppose this chart to the right of the data, I want to move it a little closer to the data maybe. Might want to make it larger or smaller, resize it in a variety of ways. Let's explore some of the options here. Sometimes you want a chart to be bigger or smaller, and at the same time you want to maintain that ratio of height to width. That sometimes is referred to as the aspect ratio. So on this chart here, first of all, if I drag one of the corners, point to the corner and see the double arrow there, if I click and drag, I can make this wider, narrower, smaller, taller, and go anywhere I want. Just sliding the mouse around, left mouse button held down. However, if I hold down the Shift key, and I'm holding it down now, I can only make this chart bigger or smaller and keep that same ratio of height to width. If it is important, I do want to be doing this because I like the look of it, I like the proportions. And be sure to let go of the mouse before the Shift key if you want that ratio to hold. So I'm letting go of the mouse now. So I made the chart somewhat bigger, but I kept that same ratio. Another option less likely to be used is the idea that sometimes you want to make a chart wider and yet keep its same height. Sometimes you want to make it shorter and keep the same width. This time, I'm about to drag this right border, and as I'm dragging it, you see how it's going to get wider. No surprises there, but look what happens when I hold down the Control key. It's going to make it wider or narrower as it keeps the same center. So maybe it helps to remember C for center. If you're holding down the Control key and resizing, you're making it wider or narrower if you drag a side handle like this, but you're keeping the same center. Here too, I'll let go of the mouse first. Or maybe I want to make this shorter this way, but I want to keep the same center. And by the way, it's always best here to start the dragging, then hold down the Control. So I'm holding down Control now, and you see what's happening here. Let go of the mouse first. And similarly, dragging from the corner here, if I hold down Control, I'm changing its size around the same center. Now, if you've worked with shapes and objects in PowerPoint or Word or Excel, these are old tips perhaps and you're familiar with them, but just an idea here. I'm holding down Control here, resizing this, keeping the same center. When you actually move a chart around or change its edges, sometimes what you might want to do to make it look a little neater and tidier with regard to the data here on a worksheet. On this chart here, if I'm dragging the left edge here, I can drag it anywhere I want, but suppose I want it to line up perfectly with the cell boundaries there. Hold down the Alt key. And then it's as if the line has like a magnetic attraction to a cell edge. Let go of the mouse here. And it's more efficient to do this on opposite corners because then you take care of two edges at once. I'm about to change the upper right-hand corner here and drag it anywhere I want, but if I hold down Alt, it simply forces the edges to line up with cell boundaries. Let go of the mouse there, and then in the lower left corner, drag this one around, hold down Alt, maybe I'll put it right there, let go of the mouse. And when you click outside of it, you'll see how perfect that is if that's your objective. Maybe I'll do this one here too. Alt key, that sort of thing. Line it up that way. And the lower left and so on. And not to turn it into a make-work project, but you can see how sometimes you like that look, you like that appearance. One other small issue here with regard to moving charts, sometimes this is important. If you hold down Control and click on a chart, and the term sounds a little funny at first, you have allowed the chart to be nudged. Meaning, I'm going to push the right arrow a few times now. I'm moving the chart ever so slightly. Now down arrow. I'm not lining up the cell boundaries here, but I'm moving the chart by using the keys on the keyboard. So if you Control click on a chart, you activate those features. So there's no shortage of ways here to move and adjust the placement of charts on worksheets.